Song number 3. You mentioned it just earlier. Genghis Khan. One question, before we run the video, I just had one question for you. Why was Germany then called West Germany in the 70s and early 80s? It wasn't the German entry. It was being started to be called West Germany. Do you have any, does anyone know why? Do you know why?
I think only an American could answer this.
I might be American, but I want an answer. Do you know?
We had East and West Germany.
Okay.
No,
No, of course, but some you had East and West Germany. You had East and West Germany for a number of years already, but it was only like in the late 70s that the name changed over to the West German song.
No.
No?
I've never heard it. Did anybody hear that?
No.
No.
Okay, so
There was never an East Germany. There was a Germany and an East Germany.
Of course.
Actually, there was no West Germany, because then they would have had South Germany and
No.
North Germany.
No. Only because the graphics come up as West Germany.
This could be.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway,
Excuse me, was a joke.
it's okay. You're allowed to joke. You're a talk show. Let's run the clip, and then we'll talk a little bit about the song.
Life on.
You said to me while we were watching that this is an interesting story.
I mean, if you watch this today, it's 35 years ago. It was 79, and that was new to people. It was more action. It was action. Today you have such great dancers. Every show here, one is better than the others, But in those days it was also. I mean, there were Only Louis was an official dancer.
Louis was the guy who
Louis
played Genghis
Guitar,
Khan.
Theo is in heaven, and Steve is in heaven, and those were the days. There were 6 weeks they were trying to do those little few movements, you know.
It really took that
6
long.
weeks it took that long, you know.
You wouldn't
to do
know.
that.
It looks,
But I just remember everybody says ching poo, ching poo. This syndrome, you know. This was very new at those days. Poo, poo. And I remember when we did the first rehearsal in Jerusalem, all live by the way, all orchestra. So I went to the guitar, in the first rehearsal I went to the guitar, one of the guitar players, we only used one guitar, and I said, come on, I brought a Lindrum, a synth drum with me from Munich. You just plug it into the Framos, in your amplifier, and then you hit, poo, at the right moment, we gave it this cue sheet, you know? So okay, so Norbert, 1, 2, 3, 4, the poo, poo! All the musicians went down and thought there would be a bombing because it was the empty hall in the morning, you know.
Oh.
It was poo, 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 poo. It was,
What was that noise? What instrument played that?
It's what?
What instrument made that noise?
It's a little pad. You know, those days it was a pad, and you just knocked on it, poo, poo.
Okay.
You know?
Alright.
Which is, but it was so loud because he had this amp there, you know, and nobody heard it before, you know. And then I always, every time I hear that, so people say, "Oh God."
So do you feel?
There's
Do
a
you
bombing
feel?
going on,
Do you
you know?
feel bad that you were responsible for putting a lot of fear in people?
With that song, I really did, you know, because that was a really hard times, you know, because those trips we all do, or we all did. I mean, to Jerusalem was, first of all, it's fantastic. It was a fantastic place, whatever, in every sort in the world, to go to Jerusalem. But on the other side, I remember one night you had bombings in those
Yeah,
days.
of course, yeah.
And we were at the Hilton Hotel, and whenever we took the shuttle to the arena, we had like 5 times checked, go through where everything, you know, everybody was checked and checked. And one of the second or third days, my wife and I, we were a little bit late, like always in those days, and then we had to take a cab, you know. So I took a cab, told the cab driver, "Can you take me to the arena?" She says, "Yes." So we were there in 5 minutes, no check. So I said, "Well, what do we do if you know the road? What do the terrorists know?" You know? So with a normal driving, you had 5 checkups with the shuttle, and all by yourself, you know, the cab driver knew immediately wrong. So that was a very strange feeling.
Yeah.
But I remember we planted 100 trees in those days. We went out planting trees, and we had a fantastic time always in Jerusalem. Also when we were there with Surprise, you know,
Yeah.
Jerusalem is always something where you say, wow, what a city.
But have there been contests outside of Israel where security has been an issue?
Moscow.
Oh,
You know, Moscow felt very strange. You know, Baku was also very tough. But the funniest or the toughest was in Ireland. You know, because when we were in Ireland, we came. I'll never forget that this was when Johnny Blue was on with Lena. We arrived at the airport, and we went in the bus like we all have those buses today. You know,
Yes.
normally San Marino, and here's thing, and here's for Germany. And we jumped in the bus, and suddenly it was there was 8 policemen. 8 police
Following you on the bus or passing by?
on whatever Harley Davidson, whatever they had, you know. And we drove with 100 miles an hour, not miles, 60 miles an hour,
Yeah.
through the city, and they stopped all the, and we felt like, oh God, what's going on, you know? And then we arrived there and were sweating, you know, because we were quicker than anybody, you know? Like we were, I don't know, President Obama coming, you know? And then we went to the military people. They always took us care. I always had bodyguards. Why? I don't know. I'm not so important.
Okay.
But at least I played golf since 40 years. And so one of the policemen said, "Would you like to play our golf course?" I said, "You have a golf course?" "Yeah, we have our own golf course." I said, "Okay." So why not? So they showed us a military golf course in Dublin. Up. You know, walking.
Very high security golf.
But always accompanied by somebody who carries your bags with a gun, and another one with a gun as well. I mean, this is one strange feat.
But the first time I saw this, when I moved to London in 1992, the IRA was still bombing in London, and there were loads of soldiers with machine guns around. I mean, it was people ignored it after a while.
So you make those trips, you know, they have. It's not only the song and hello, goodbye. It's a lot of emotion for everybody as well.
So this particular trip, were you able to concentrate on the song, or were you thinking about everything else that was going on around you?
No, you concentrate on the song, but these are side effects, you know.
But it is a little bit. I get the impression that you are involved in Eurovision. It's a little bit. You're in a little bit of a tunnel. You know, you're at your hotel and you go to the arena and you have a lot of press conferences. You don't. I don't know. Do you have time this year to go and do things and see things?
Well, first of all, in the old days, it was 1 week. You know.
Of course. There was
one week
final,
is already different.
Yeah.
You know, you just get accustomed, and then you're there, and you're already in the rehearsal. Then you have speaking 2 restaurants, and then it's over already because you don't have to spend 2 weeks. You know, hopefully.
Before we move on to the next song, I just want to.
I'm not just saying this. It's a different if you're 1 week or 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And the most difference is if you're in a semi-final or not. You know, there was only one final.
Of course, you just all.
And there you were, and either you were lucky or you were not.
Yeah. Now it's like Wimbledon.
Well, Wimbledon is longer.
Is it? Is it longer than 2 weeks? All right. I'm not a tennis fan. I just guess.
And tougher.
I just want to. I had some of the lyrics translated. I can't resist. I have to read out what the lyrics said in English. Tell me if this is autobiographical, okay? And each woman that he liked, he took into his tent. They said a woman who did not love him did not exist anywhere in the world. And the last line, he fathered 7 children in one night. Now, you didn't write the lyrics to this song, did you?
No, it was written by my dear friend Bernd Meininger, and we discussed this, and we knew exactly, and people will talk about it. And in those days, this group was not formed, it was written. You know, I wrote one night, Jing, Jing, Genghis Khan, hey, ride a ho, ride a go, ride a so. And then I sang the demo, I made the demo, and sang all the voices myself, and I sent in the song to the so-called old days Arbeitsgemeinschaft. They were the group, they packed the songs, you know, and then there was a jury listening to it. So I said, well, if the song is making it, the group will be called Genghis Khan. There was no group, there was no nothing.
No, it was just this group of people.
It was just the idea, and I wrote the song, and Bernd wrote this crazy lyric, and I said, well, this is so outrageous, so crazy, that at least they can resist to do it. You know? And then I had to find a group, which I then built in 6 weeks.
And that's why it was called. The group was just called Genghis Khan, or Genghis Khan.
Yeah, I said there was a group coming Genghis Khan, and I had in my mind, okay, you know those old hero movies, which there was you, Bruno, or
riding in on a. Shall we move on to the next?
It's 35 years ago. It's a long time.
Should we move on to number 2 in our hit parade?
Yes.